Broadcasting on the Sports Quotient, Sports Radio America, and Spreaker.com, this is What's the Score? The Sports News Quiz. I'm your Game Master, Josh Scheibe, the man whose Super Bowl plans are pretty much no different than any other Sunday afternoon. Beer, cheese, scotch, brats, schnapps, and not getting arrested before the game even starts. Looking at you, Eugene Robinson. And now, here's a man who never takes a rest, your host of the BLC studios in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Baxter Colburn!
Thank you, Josh. Thanks, everyone. Today is the day we have all been waiting for. It is the World Series of Underwater Basket Weaving. Hopefully you've submitted your brackets by this time, and the Best of 13 series will get underway this very evening.
Before we welcome in our first contestant, we'd like to encourage all of you to go check out our social media pages. On Facebook, you can find us at What's the Score, and on Twitter and Instagram at WTS Sports Quiz.
If you'd like to play our games on air, you can email us at WTSSportsQuiz@gmail.com or visit our social media pages and click on the pinned post at the top of each page.
If you ever miss a show, you can find it on Spreaker.com, iTunes, Podcasts.com, and Stitcher. Just type What's the Score in the search bar and click on the latest episode. Also, if you think this show is worth at least $1, why not donate to our Patreon account? Just search What's the Score and donate today.
Let's meet our panelists this week. First up, a perpetual JV collegiate golfer, professional writer, and contributor at Bucksketball.com. It is Mitch Vomhof.
Thanks. Glad to be here.
Next up, returning to the panel, a former Concordia University of Wisconsin basketball player and two-time conference champion. It is the man, Erik Condia.
Thanks. I'm glad to be here. Hoping to take home a win today, Bax.
And finally, making his debut on the panel, a Yooper and a first-team all-conference lineman for Wisconsin Lutheran College, it is Ian Demarse.
Thanks, Baxter. Glad to be here. Looking to take down CU Dub.
It's time to get the show on the road with our first contestant game. Joining us on the phone to play Quotable Context is Matt Evans. Welcome to the show, Matt.
Good evening, guys. How are you guys?
Doing well. We are excited for you to be on the show today, Matt. But before we get to your game, do you have a prediction for the Super Bowl today?
I do, and it very saddens me to say that I think Carolina's going to win 31-14.
31-14. Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, we will see if that comes true, and if it does, Game Master Scheibe will personally fly to your house and record a voicemail on your cell phone for you, Matt. All right. In this game, Matt, you will be playing our game called Quotable Context. Game Master Scheibe will read you 5 quotes from this week's news, and you must correctly identify the context of each quote, answer 3 out of 5 questions correctly, and you will win our prize, a What's the Score t-shirt. If you do get stuck on one question, you are allowed to ask one panelist for help, but only on one question, so make sure you choose wisely. Are you ready to play, sir?
I am ready.
All right. Here is your first clue.
He's got plenty of time, whatever time he needs. It's always a hard decision, so we'll give him plenty of time.
That was John Elway commenting on what player that is thinking about retirement after this season.
Oh, Peyton Manning.
Yes, sir. Nicely done. Whether or not he wins the Super Bowl this very evening, Peyton Manning is supposedly going to retire, but who knows? If he does win, he might decide to go back for one more year. Only time will tell with Peyton Manning. Here is your next quote, Matt.
We'll be all right. It's a tough stretch, but all teams go through it. We just have to battle back out of it.
That was NBA player Jared Bayless telling the media that what team will work itself out of their losing ways eventually?
Ooh, I'm going to go with the 76ers.
That is incorrect. No. We were looking for the Milwaukee Bucks, so you weren't too far off with franchises that are underperforming, but no, the Milwaukee Bucks is who we were looking for.
Look, Jared, I appreciate the sentiment, but 15 years is not just a tough stretch.
Milwaukee Buck fans are still... Mitch, you are wearing a Seattle Supersonics shirt today.
Yeah, I only support dead franchises, which I'm wearing a Supersonic shirt, and I write about the Bucks.
So you are 2 for 2 today. Nicely done. Yes, Matt, were you ever a Supersonics fan? Because you've been a Seattle native your whole life, is that correct?
Yeah, I can't, NBA's not really my thing, but yeah, when you're from the Northwest, the Sonics are, you're either a Sonics fan or Blazers fan, and, I hate everything about Portland, so, Sonics all the way.
Fair. Very fair.
Fair enough. All right, here is your next quote.
I'm going to pray that God strikes this guy dead.
That was Baptist pastor Donnie Romero voicing his opinion about what UFC champion fighter?
Oh, my gosh. I have no idea. I need to ask a panelist.
Okay, would you like to ask Mitch, Ian, or Erik?
Just because my name starts with an M2, let's go ask Mitch.
Okay, well, let's see here. Mitch, what would be your hint for Mr. Matt Evans?
I'd say this guy has gotten into some public spats with one Floyd Mayweather recently.
I do not know.
You're going to have to give us an answer.
I'm going to go with, UFC. Let's go Chuck Liddell.
No, that is incorrect. We were looking for Conor McGregor. The fiery Irishman is being condemned by the Lord Almighty, apparently, to be struck down. Now, apparently, Conor McGregor is still in the Lord's favor. But when he does go on national TV and tell everybody that even if Jesus himself came back, that he would kick his ass in the ring, you kind of question whether or not maybe the Lord of Almighty is maybe a Holly Holm fan or a Ronda Rousey fan instead, maybe. All right, still 2 more chances to get to your 3 correct answers. Here is your next quote, Matt.
We've got global warming now. That helps with recruiting.
That was Michigan head coach Jim Harbaugh saying that the warm weather allowed his school to do what this recruiting season?
Oh, man. That's a good question. I do not have the answer to that.
You do not. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I can't exactly give you a hint. I mean, would you like to voice some sort of an answer? I mean, it has to do with college. That's all I can tell you.
Can you read the quote one more time?
Yes. Here's the quote one more time for you.
We've got global warming now. That helps with recruiting.
That was Michigan head coach Jim Harbaugh saying that the warm weather allowed his school to do what during this recruiting season?
I'm going to say recruit 5-star athletes.
Can you be a little bit more specific than that?
Recruit that one kicker that they were going after?
I wish. I love the sentiment of being the number 1 kicker. No, the correct answer was that they were able to sign the number 1 overall recruit this year. I don't know what happened to the kicker, but so
He was
you
only
did not
number
get that.
352nd recruit.
Yeah, that's trivial. All right, well, let's go for the last question here, Matt, see if we can get a little bit of pride and make Mom proud back at home. Here is your final quote.
In fact, if people would quit twittering me now to try to get on the team, I would appreciate it. I've had tons of people saying, hey, I played in junior high and I know I can help you.
That was the Denver Broncos defensive coordinator Wade Phillips telling people on Twitter to stop asking him for what?
Stop asking for defensive play calling advice.
No, that is incorrect. A roster spot, actually. There was one gentleman tweeted at Wade Phillips saying that he could be more effective than one of the players on the field. He sent him a highlight tape, and he was signed just a week later. He ended up ending the season with, I believe, 5 tackles and an interception as well. So you never know what can happen on social media. Game Master Scheibe, how did Matt do on our quiz?
Matt got 1 out of 5 today. Unfortunately, he's not a winner.
You know, and I think, and I hate to do this, Matt, but it might be because you cheer for that Cascadia team called the Seattle Seahawks. But we won't hold that against you, Matt. We appreciate you joining us on the show today. Nicely done.
Looks like we're heading to our first break now, but when we come back, our panelists will have their first shot at showcasing their knowledge of this week's sports news. You're listening to What's the Score, the sports news quiz on the Sports Quotient, Sports Radio America, and Spreaker.com.
Hey everyone, Baxter Colburn here, host of What's the Score, the sports news quiz. Today's show is being brought to you by Odd Rec Studios and their new series, Quiet Storm. Follow Odd Rec Studios on Facebook, Twitter, Vimeo, and be sure to check out their crowdfunding Patreon page to see exclusive backer features like Periscope feeds and Google Hangouts. You can support the series for as little as $2 or just hit support on their Thunderclap page. Quiet Storm, starring Megan Jacobs, Charlie Holstein, Brittany Peterson, and What's the Score's very own Game Master Josh Scheibe and Baxter Colburn as well. Quiet Storm, Odd Rec Studios' own drama series. Check it out today.
Hello all, I'm Josh Scheibe, your Game Master here at What's the Score, the sports news quiz. Thanks for listening in. I may not know much about sports, but what I do know about are our social media pages. Check us out on Facebook at What's the Score, or Twitter and Instagram at WTS Sports Quiz. Thanks very much for listening, and now let's head back to the action. Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to What's the Score? The Sports News Quiz. I'm your Game Master, Josh Scheibe. This week, our panelists are Ian Demarse, Mitch Vomhof, and Erik Condia. And now, here's your host at the BLC Studios in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Baxter Colburn.
Thank you, Josh. Thanks, everyone. We have a great show continuing to roll on with you. It is our Super Bowl show, and as we mentioned last week, Game Master Scheibe and I are ready to do our Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake halftime show impression.
We are indeed.
Did you wear the top, Game Master Scheibe?
I did.
Are you ready? Never mind. We're not going to do that. There's a child in the audience.
Wait. Now you're telling me we're not doing it.
The sparkles are a good look for you. They really are.
I appreciate that.
But we're just gonna move on. I feel like it's safer for all if we don't expose that on social media.
All right. Well, I guess it's time now for our panelists to showcase their knowledge about this past week's sports news.
Hey, Mitch, news came out this week that former Dallas Cowboys running back Joseph Randle was doing what during the 2015 season? Aside from just not doing well.
Yeah. No, I like the first take on that question. Some sort of drugs?
No, he was not doing drugs.
No.
He was placing wagers on sporting events.
Oh.
So he was playing in the NFL and also placing bets as well.
The old Pete Rose conundrum.
Exactly, and I'm sure he probably will be banned for life, but still be welcomed back and get a statue in front of Dallas and everything. So
he's not going to get in the Hall of Fame, but
yeah, what are you going to do?
Ian, a Canadian newscast made a mistake this week by saying which team is actually facing the Broncos in the Super Bowl.
That's a tough one. The Bills?
No, that is incorrect. The Florida Panthers. The Canadians love hockey, and they put the wrong Panthers logo up, unfortunately. So it was the Canadian Panthers had like the charging Panther bit.
You know, it's like one of the – I wouldn't even think about like a Canadian making that mistake because Jaromir Jagr on the Florida Panthers could possibly be mistaken – for any football player on the Carolina
He's a big
Panthers.
guy.
Yeah,
honestly,
he's
a very big guy. I mean, him versus Cam Newton in a hockey one-on-one. Who would check the other one out first? You think?
I don't know. Jaromir Jagr would probably use a stick to dab first, and then Cam Newton would dab again, and they would just have a dab off.
I mean, that seems counterproductive, but I mean, sure. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Fair enough. All right, Erik, question for you. Soccer star Lionel Messi reached what career milestone this week?
I would say all-time goal scorer.
You're on the right track. Do you want to give me a number, though? I'm looking for a number.
Oh, a number? 250.
Oh, you're short by about 250. He scored his 500th career goal this week. The Barcelona star Lionel Messi continuing to dazzle fans, proving that he's better or more humble than Cristiano Ronaldo, and will still probably never win a World Cup, unfortunately. But that's just kind of how the soccer world goes sometimes.
Well, we're heading to a break, but when we come back, our second contestant will answer some questions about the history of the big game. Don't go away. You're listening to What's the Score on Spreaker.com, Sports Radio America, and the Sports Quotient.
Hey guys, this is Baxter Colburn, host of What's the Score, the sports news quiz. Did you know that you can listen to us on a lot of different platforms now? Yes, you can. Go and check us out on Spreaker.com. You can download our podcast on Stitcher and on the iTunes App Store. You can also find us on thesportsquotient.com and on sportsradioamerica.com as well. Just about anywhere that you can look for great radio programming, you can find What's the Score, the sports news quiz. Go and check us out today and tell your friends.
Hi, everyone. I'm your Game Master, Josh Scheibe.
And I'm your host, Baxter Colburn.
Hey, if you think the show is worth at least $1, why don't you go to our Patreon account?
We'd be very grateful if you donate to the show. That's how people like Josh and I stay employed, or pretend to be employed at least. Thank you so much for listening to What's the Score, the sports news quiz. And now, back to more sports trivia action.
Hope my check's in the mail. Hello, all, and welcome back to the BLC studios in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. This is What's the Score? The Sports News Quiz. I'm Josh Scheibe, your game master. This week's panelists are Mitch Vomhof, Erik Condia, and Ian Demarse, and they'll have the opportunity to show off their sports knowledge in just a little bit. Before that, though, here's the host of What's the Score, Baxter Colburn.
Thank you, Josh. Coming up, we put our panelists to the test in our Name 5 Panelist Showdown. If you'd like to play our games on air, though, why not shoot us an email at wtsportsquiz@gmail.com or find the links to our contestant form on our Facebook and Twitter pages.
Playing our next game, which we've decided to call Super Duper Bowl Trivia, is David Bobke. Welcome to the show, David.
Thank you. Good to be here.
All right, David, you are going to be playing our Super Duper Bowl Trivia. As you know, today's the greatest game of the NFL season, unless you are a Lions or a Texans or anybody that didn't anyway. So we thought we'd quiz you a little bit about Super Bowl history. I feel like it's only fitting. So we will ask you 5 questions, answer at least 3 questions correctly, and you will win our prize, a What's the Score t-shirt. If you do get stuck on a question, you are allowed to ask one of our handsome panelists for a hint. But remember, you only can do it on 1 question, so make sure you choose wisely. Are you ready to start?
I thought the greatest game of the year was the Puppy Bowl, but
we
can go Super Bowl.
We can go the Super Bowl for the context of this. We will go with that.
Fair enough.
All right, are you ready to play?
I was ready as I'm going to be.
Good. Here's your first question. How many of the current NFL teams have never made it to the Super Bowl? A, 6, B, 11, or C, 4?
I'm going to go with A6.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is C, 4. The 4 teams that have never made it. The Cleveland Browns, no surprise. The Houston Texans, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Motor City Rejects, the Detroit Lions. Here is your next question. The Pittsburgh Steelers, in all their grand glory, have made it to the Super Bowl 8 times. How many times have they won the Super Bowl? A, 6, B, 7, or C, 4?
I'm going to go with 6 again.
That is correct. Nicely done.
Standing ovation wasn't necessary.
That was very nice by the studio audience. They're very helpful with that.
All right, your next one. 2 teams have each made it to the Super Bowl 4 times, but never won. Who are those 2 teams? Is it A, the Philadelphia Eagles and the Buffalo Bills, B, the Buffalo Bills and the Minnesota Vikings, or C, the Minnesota Vikings and the Cincinnati Bengals?
If I remember correctly, the Vikings have only been once, so I'm going to go with A.
That is incorrect. No, it was B, the Buffalo Bills and the Minnesota Vikings.
I'll B.
Any Vikings fan will talk about, was it Gary Anderson or Morton Anderson missing the field goals? And yeah, they've been. And the Buffalo Bills are so good that even, we're not going to go that way. Anyway, All right, here is your next question. There are 4 teams who are undefeated in the Super Bowl. The Saints, the Buccaneers, the Jets, and who else? A, the Atlanta Falcons, B, the San Diego Chargers, or C, the Baltimore Ravens?
Going to go Baltimore Ravens.
That is correct. Baltimore Ravens are 2-0. Back when Ray Lewis was on the team, and then back when Joe Flacco. Apparently he's an elite quarterback according to the NFL. So they are 2-0 in the Super Bowl. Here is your final question.
Which team holds the record for the longest drought since appearing in the last Super Bowl? Is it A, the Cincinnati Bengals, B, the Miami Dolphins, or C, the Minnesota Vikings?
Well, if I can get a hint, I may as well use it.
Okay,
so
who would you like to use? You've got Mitch, Ian, or Erik.
I'm going to go with Ian because he seems like he's a big football guy. So
That's very true.
All right, Ian, what kind of a hint can you provide?
All right, the one hint I'll give you is NFC.
Can I get the options again, please?
Game Master Scheibe, who are our 3 options?
A, the Cincinnati Bengals, B, the Miami Dolphins, or C, the Minnesota Vikings?
I guess I got to go with the Vikings.
That is
even though
correct.
They let me down before.
I know, they let everybody down, yes. The Minnesota Vikings have not been to the Super Bowl since 1976, so they have had the longest drought out of any team that has ever made it to the Super Bowl. Game Master Scheibe, how did David do on our quiz?
David got 3 out of 5 correct, and he's a winner!
Before we let you go, David, nicely done. What is your Super Bowl prediction tonight for the Panthers and the Broncos?
I think
Scores are encouraged.
Both teams are going to score positive points. I think
that's a good step. Right?
I'm gonna go with Broncos 27, Panthers.
So the Broncos are going to win, is what you're telling me. Do you have a number, though?
I'll pretend 14.
Okay. So
I'll pretend that's what I said.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you so much for playing our game today, David. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, panel, some more questions for you. Erik, we'll start with you, sir, wearing your Chargers jersey. Who is that you're wearing, by the way?
Actually, Dwight Freeney.
Actually? You made it sound like I was wrong with who I asked you who it was.
Actually, Dwight Freeney.
Actually?
You know, it's been a weird day. Been up since 3 a.m.
Why were you up at 3 a.m., Erik?
That kid shouting across across the...
How old are you, Erik? You sound like you're about 65. Those darn
I'm
kids
26,
were outside the window.
But it feels like I'm 46.
Well, marriage will do that to you. All right, Erik. So CBS and NBC announced this week that they will be splitting duties doing what this coming year?
Can you repeat the question one more time?
Sure. A little distracted. Anyway, CBS and NBC announced this week that they will be splitting the duties of doing the broadcast of what games next year?
CBS and NBC, you said?
CBS.
I would
and
say Thursday Night Football?
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah!
Thursday Night Football.
USA. I mean, sorry. C-U-Dub.
Ah,
C-U-Dub.
there it is. Falcons. Falcon Punch. All right, nicely done.
All right, Ian. One of the many Super Bowl commercials airing tonight will feature a choir featuring what type of people?
Can I get a hint?
We have one of these in our audience today.
Would it be babies?
Yes, but we're looking for a more... How were the babies brought to life? The G-rated version, please. You hear about baby boomers,
Yeah.
but take it to a more modern perspective.
I'm not sure how to think of it modernly, so...
What event is taking place tonight?
The Super Bowl?
So when a team wins, usually there's a lot of excitement.
Oh, they go to Disney World.
That's a great metaphor there, Ian.
We'll give it to him. It's a chorus of Super Bowl babies, people that have been conceived, to put it lightly, after the day of the Super Bowl when their team has won. There's a choir of people from when the Steelers won the Super Bowl, some of the Packers when they won in the early 90s. There are even little toddlers when the Seahawks won the Super Bowls as well. It's I think it's about a 50 or 60 chorus
When
choir.
Mommy and Daddy love each other very much and the Patriots win the Super Bowl.
Exactly. I don't know if there were any Patriots actually in the...
They had like 6 opportunities, though.
Yeah, well, maybe they missed that. It was a marketing flaw. But, Mitch, we'll stay with you, by the way. It appears that the Cleveland Browns are going to be cutting ties with another first-round bust. What player will be the first name on their cut list starting March 9th?
It's going to be Mr. Johnny Football.
That
Johnny
is correct.
Manziel.
Yes, Johnny Manziel.
Which, like, when you are a bust for the Browns,
You only have
a pretty good job.
You'll probably go to Dallas.
He really stood out on that one.
Honestly, I mean, it is actually kind of sad. Johnny Manziel has been in and out of rehab. He's dealing with a lot of different off-field issues. And this week we even learned that Charlie Sheen reached out to comfort Johnny Manziel and offer him some advice and telling him to
Noted
to
life
get some
coach.
help. Yes,
Yeah.
noted
Noted
life
life
coach,
coach Charlie
expert
Sheen
in
is giving him advice.
being with lots of different things. But so we'll see if Johnny decides to get a little bit of help. I know Dallas is still hot and heavy about wanting to sign him now.
You know, if football doesn't really work out for him, he's got a career with the Kardashians.
Does he? What,
I'm sure.
What?
I mean, just like a reality TV show.
Oh, okay. I was like,
I'm
his
sure.
butt's not nearly big enough.
Life with Johnny.
How's his selfie game? Is he good at selfies?
I don't know. Actually,
He's a partier, so you decide.
yeah, I would imagine. Oh, I mean, if he even doesn't even take the pictures, somebody else is definitely taking the pictures
Fair enough.
for him.
Heyo.
All right.
It's time for another break, gentlemen. But don't worry, everybody else. We'll be right back, and our panelists will have another chance to answer some questions about this week's sports news. You're listening to What's the Score? The Sports News Quiz, broadcasting on Sports Radio America, Spreaker.com, and the Sports Quotient.
Hey everyone, this is Baxter Colburn, host of What's the Score, the sports news quiz. Do you enjoy sports trivia just about as much as I do? Well, if you do, go and check out thesportsquotient.com, one of the many places that you can listen to What's the Score, the sports news quiz. Not only do they have a killer podcast section, but they have some of the best sports quizzes on the internet that I have ever seen. And I've seen a lot of things, especially in the sports world. Go and check it out today and see just how you stack up against the rest of the sports world. That is thesportsquotient.com. Hey everyone, Baxter Colburn here for What's the Score, the sports news quiz. Want to take a moment to thank one of our sponsors, Sports Radio America. Go and check out sportsradioamerica.com today to find the latest shows about the sports world. You can listen to What's the Score on their network. You can also catch great shows like Pros in the Paint, Sunday Gridiron, the College Credit Hour, 2 Up Front, the BG Sports Show, and oh so much more. Go and check them out today, sportsradioamerica.com. We appreciate their support and yours as well. And now back to more What's the Score action.
Welcome back to What's the Score, the sports news quiz, and thanks for listening in. We're broadcasting from the BLC studios in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm your Game Master, Josh Scheibe. We've got some very fun guys on the panel this week, Erik Condia, Ian Demarse, and Mitch Vomhof. Hey. And here, once again, is your host of What's the Score, Baxter Colburn!
Thank you, Josh. Thanks, everyone. As we continue on with our show, we want to remind all of you that you can find our show on Spreaker, iTunes, and on Stitcher as well. Give us a listen and even write us a review if you'd be so kind. It is time now for our last slate of questions for our panelists this week.
Ian, we'll start with you. The makers of NBA 2K games are getting sued after the recent game features what?
I should know this because I have 2K, so...
Remember, you do have a hint if you'd like it.
I'll use that hint.
They say that diamonds are a woman's best friend, so for a man, it usually has something to do with loving his mother.
That's a unique hint.
This is what happens when you drink during the game.
Yeah, exactly.
I can give you a better hint if you'd like.
Sure.
It's everlasting. You literally will die with it on you.
Interesting. Is it jewelry?
It's more permanent than jewelry.
Tattoo.
Yes, there you go. Yes, the makers are being sued because they use tattoos on players like LeBron and Kobe and other incredibly good, talented players and stuff with words.
You might call them basketball players.
Yes, basketball. They play basketball and they shoot the ball into the hoop. Staying with basketball, Mitch, we'll go to you next. Sacramento Kings player DeMarcus Cousins asked for the organization to do what before a recent home game?
I believe he asked them to fire George Karl, their coach.
Sure, but not what we're looking for.
Oh, well, that's the other thing he said. No,
well, good. I mean, well, that's good to know. I didn't realize that. I mean, no, he asked them to remove the Year of the Monkey shirts from the fan seats.
The other thing.
They're celebrating the Chinese New Year, and DeMarcus Cousins is like, what about Black History Month?
Yeah,
so
valid point.
So they, anyway.
Look, man, there's a lot going on in Sacramento these days.
Honestly, I mean, and the fact that the DeMarcus Cousins didn't even play in the game and he still had a fit about it was a little, it's only money, obviously.
All right, Erik, the final question goes to you. After it was announced that he will have knee surgery, which tennis star will miss the next 2 major tournaments?
Oh, could I have a hint?
Let's see. What would be a good game? What would be a good hint, Game Master Scheibe? I mean, I could say he's one of the most recognized tennis players in the game right now, if that helps you. I could also say that his first name is similar to the last name of a quarterback in the NFL.
Similar to...
How many tennis players do you know, Erik?
I can name like 3 major male.
Okay, I'll do it this way. If you name those 3 major and it happens to be one of them, I will let you know.
You should have been on the show like 3 weeks ago.
Djokovic. No, it's not Djokovic.
It is, yes.
Is it Djokovic?
That's not him, but that is his name.
Johnny McEnroe.
Who? Last chance.
He's not a major.
Last chance.
Roger Federer.
Yes!
All right. Oh, okay.
That was probably the longest answer in show history. But yes, Roger Federer will miss the next two tournaments.
I'm just glad you gave me a second chance.
That's what I do.
No one gives me a second
I'm
chance.
very forgiving.
Modern tennis star Johnny McEnroe. I like that a lot.
Johnny
Hey,
McEnroe?
I saw him in a tournament a couple of years ago.
Yeah, but was that like a video of a
lie.
tournament from 20 years ago?
No.
How old are you?
No, I was literally I was an event staff worker, and I had to watch Johnny McEnroe beat up on like an 18-year-old.
Oh,
Wow, it sounds painful.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Ugh.
actually would.
Yikes.
Hope that there wasn't a lot.
And then they play tennis.
Yeah, right. Good Lord.
Well, folks, it's time for me to break up the fun once again. But when we come back, this week's final contestants will be playing a game that's never been featured on our show before, Sports Taboo. We'll be back in just a bit, so don't go away. This is What's the Score, the Sports News Quiz, broadcasting on the Sports Quotient, Spreaker.com, and Sports Radio America.
Hey guys, this is Baxter, the host of What's the Score, the Sports News Quiz. Want to take a minute to remind all of you to go and check us out on social media. You can find us on Facebook at What's the Score, the Sports News Quiz, on Twitter at WTS Sports Quiz, and on Instagram at WTS Sports Quiz as well. And if you enjoy the whole hashtag game, like some of us like to do, hashtag goals, hashtag believer, hashtag, I don't know, I'm running out of hashtags. Anyway, use the hashtag What's the Score on Twitter and Instagram, and check out some of the other exclusive content that we do as well. Connecting all of us one smartphone at a time. Hey everyone, this is Baxter Colburn, host of What's the Score, the Sports News Quiz.
And I'm your Game Master, Josh Scheibe.
If you think you are smart enough, or smarter than a fifth grader, and want to play our games on air, you can either come by the studio or you can call us, but there's a few different ways you can get a hold of us.
If you'd like to email us, you can do so at WTSSportsQuiz@gmail.com.
Or for you social media savants, head over to Facebook, What's the Score, the Sports News Quiz, or Twitter, WTS Sports Quiz. Now back to the action with myself and Josh Scheibe.
Welcome back, everyone. This is What's the Score, the Sports News Quiz. I'm Josh Scheibe, your Game Master. Our Name 5 Panelist Showdown is coming up, but first we have a game of Sports Taboo. Here to get the game going is your host at the BLC Studios here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Baxter Colburn.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, everyone. I am very excited to get Sports Taboo underway. Our panelists will be vying for a point in this one as well, but we'll explain all that in just a minute. We have 3 contestants here to play our games today, Josh.
Our 3 contestants are Jared Baroni, Nate Bresco, and Michelle Bresco. Welcome to the show, everyone.
This is the first time in show history that we have 3 different players playing the same game. The reason for that is us introducing a new game. As we mentioned, it will be playing a new game called Sports Taboo.
Each player has been randomly assigned one panelist as their teammate for their game. Each team will get 1 minute to answer as many questions as possible. The panelist will give the clues, and the contestants will answer the questions. The winning contestant will win a What's the Score t-shirt.
And the winning panelist will earn a point as well. So there's a lot at stake for both as we get ready to go into our Name 5 Panelist Showdown. Our teams for this game will be Jared and Mitch, Nate and Ian, and Michelle and Erik. All right, Nate, you will be leading things off for us with Ian. Are you ready to play, Nate?
I am ready, thank you.
All right, Nate. 1 minute on the clock. On your mark. Get set and go.
Colts, Tennessee, 18.
Oh, Peyton Manning?
Correct. Moving on.
AL East, Tampa Bay, Toronto,
Next.
Michigan, Drew Bledsoe, Super Bowl, pass,
Yes, pass.
Charlotte Hornets, 81. Shaquille O'Neal. Lower Marion High School.
Pass again.
Time is up. Ooh, boy. Game Master Scheibe, I feel like I don't need to ask because I can count on my nose, but how many did Nate get right on that one?
That would be 1 point.
1 point for Nate. My goodness. All right, Team J-Rad and Mitchie V is up next. Jared Baroni and Mitch Vomhof. Gentlemen, are you ready?
1 point of clarification, quick.
Please.
You can use. Is this just phrases, or can we use full sentences?
You can use full sentences. You can describe them. You
Okay.
can say anything
Yeah,
you
all
want
right.
to. You just cannot
All
say
right.
the 5 words that are
All right.
listed.
Cool.
Are we ready?
Your Wheaties box.
Yes. Minute on the clock.
Every one of my clues is he was on a Wheaties box.
Yes, it does.
Good luck.
All right. 1 minute. Get set and go.
All right. I gotta pass on that one.
Okay.
Good start. So this guy's playing tonight. He throws the football, and he doesn't play for the Broncos.
Cam Newton.
That is correct. Nicely done.
This is another guy who throws a football, but he wasn't so good. He got drafted by the Denver Broncos, funny enough, and is also very divisive for his quarterbacking.
Oh, used
Said the
a
word.
taboo word. Next.
I'm gonna pass on that one.
Oh, boy. 20 seconds left.
Man. This is a team in the Western Conference of a sport, and their name sounds like they should be in
10
New Orleans,
seconds.
but they're actually by Mormons.
Oh, Jazz.
Full name?
Utah Jazz.
That is
Got
correct,
it.
yes, and time is up. Game Master Scheibe, how did Mitchie V and Jared B do on our taboo?
They got 2 answers correct.
2 answers. All right, Michelle, the mic is yours. Baby in hand and everything, and she is going to go for gold. She needs 2 to tie 3 or more. If you are led by the Holy Spirit to answer more than that, please continue. Are you ready, Michelle?
I'm ready.
All right.
Baxter, can we just mention that she has a young child in her hand?
I did
and
mention
she's
that.
doing,
I said
oh,
child
yeah.
in hand.
Oh, it's a child in hand?
Does child in hand mean something different to you Californians, or what does
I
that
don't
mean?
know. It's the 3M thing. I'm telling you.
Can I switch my panelists?
Apparently,
No.
you could use Game Master Scheibe if you'd like.
No, this is, we're going to make a quick... Wait, what was your last name again?
Bresco.
Save the best Bresco for last.
Yeah.
What? Okay.
Do this.
Hashtag Team Bresco. All right, here we go. 1 minute
Taking off
on the
this
clock.
headset and I'm leaving.
All right, on your mark, get set, go.
No.
Good start.
He throws the ball to Jordy Nelson.
Aaron Rodgers.
Correct. She's got 1. 40 seconds left.
They play against LSU. They
Alabama.
Ooh, she got 2. She needs 1 more.
This
25 seconds left.
he's the most famous basketball player.
Michael Jordan.
No, you can't say that.
He stinks. He's terrible. He's on one of the
Johnny Manziel.
worst teams in football. Their colors
5
are
seconds.
orange and blue. He's their quarterback.
Time's up. Oh, so we have
Oh.
a tie game.
He has
Master
diabetes.
Scheibe.
You have a tie.
What?
That's terrible.
So Michelle got 2, and Jared and Mitch got 2 as well. Oh no! My goodness, Michelle, since you are the lady in the room, would you like to go first in sudden death, or would you like Jared to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay, so you will be. Would you like to keep your panelists?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Good.
Let's do this.
All right, so we were going to do 30 seconds this time. 30 seconds on the clock. Are we ready? We'll begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
Brett Favre played for them for just a year.
That's 1.
They had
20 seconds.
They had Derrick Rose on their
Bulls?
Can't say basketball.
He
15 seconds.
is also has many nicknames. He's second best to Michael Jordan. Some would compare him.
LeBron.
He played out west.
5 seconds.
He played in California.
Curry.
He played in California. He was
Ooh,
in Southern
time is
California.
up. Time is up. Time is up.
No, yeah, Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant.
I should have
was the
said
man.
number 8.
So she got 1.
24. Number 8.
So
Either one.
Jared needs
All right.
1 to tie.
Just need 2. Let's get this.
2 to win.
We got
Yes.
this.
Just me and you.
All right.
Oh no, it's not the
It's
All
almost
right.
Valentine's
All right.
Day.
Yeah,
it
it
is.
is.
Yeah,
It's true.
Valentine's
Fair.
Day's a
Give
week
it a
away.
All right.
30 seconds. On your mark. Get set. Go. It's a good start.
Went to Michigan. Was drafted very low, but has won a bunch of Super Bowls, including one last year
15 seconds.
as a throwy man for a football team. We'll go
5
next one.
seconds. 3, 2,
I think
1.
it's
Game over. Game Master Scheibe, who is our winning pair?
Michelle and Erik win.
Nicely done.
Sorry, Bax. I got a little too excited there.
No, I understand. Congratulations, Michelle. We'll make sure to send you a T-shirt and your baby a What's the Score onesie as well. We have those in stock, yes. All right. Well, we are just moments away, folks, from the best part of the show, Game Master Scheibe. Wouldn't you agree?
That's right. The moment you've all been waiting for is almost here. Stick around and listen to our panelists duke it out in the Name 5 Panelist Showdown coming up right after the break. You're listening to What's the Score? Broadcasting on Sports Radio America, the Sports Quotient, and Spreaker.com.
Hey guys, this is Baxter Colburn, host of What's the Score, the sports news quiz. If you enjoy listening to What's the Score, why not go and donate to our Patreon account today? That's patreon.com. Search for What's the Score and donate today. You can get awesome t-shirts, before the show shout-outs, and so much more. Tell your friends about us. Hey, if you donate, we'd be happy to give you a shout-out and even have you come on the show and play a game or two with us as well. Patreon.com, patreon.com, and donate to What's the Score today. We appreciate your support. And now, back to more What's the Score action.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Thanks for listening to What's the Score? The Sports News Quiz. I'm your Game Master, Josh Scheibe. Our panelists have been warming up over the break for their final showdown, getting ready to flex their mental muscles. While they scramble to return to their seats, here's your host of the BLC studios in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Baxter Colburn.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, everybody. We've had a fantastic show so far as we continue to get excited for the World Cup Finals this evening in the hockey realm of Major League Baseball.
I can't wait, Bax.
I'm looking forward to it. Did you submit your fantasy roster yet, Josh?
I have not. I should probably get on that.
You should, yes. Oh, wow. All right, well, with all that being said, it is time for our Name 5 Panelist Showdown. Our panelists are very excited. I can see them. We've got two guys who've already been a part of the Name 5 Panelist Showdown before. Ian is the new man on deck, but we are excited to see what he can do.
Our panelists will be given 4 topics in which they will have 10 seconds to name 5 people, teams, places, or things related to the sports world. Each panelist will have the same category. However, they cannot repeat answers. 1 point is awarded for each correct answer.
All right. Game Master Scheibe, can you give us the scores, please?
Mitch has 1 point.
Ooh.
Ian has 2.
Hey.
And Erik has 3.
Hey, nicely done, Erik. I love it. All right. I don't know why I wanted to clap in that segment. Anyway, let's keep moving on. All right, playing our first round. We'll start with Mitch. We'll go Mitch, Ian, Erik this round. Your first category in favor of the Super Bowl is Name 5 current Denver Broncos players. 10 seconds on the clock. On your mark, get set, go.
We got Demarse Ware, we have Von Miller, we have Peyton Manning, we have Demarse Thomas, and we have C.J. Anderson.
Yes, that is correct. You got all 5 in 8 seconds. Nicely done.
I almost said Monty Ball.
No, he's in jail. He's in jail.
Oh.
All right, Ian, so remember, you cannot
Dang,
repeat
Wisconsin.
anything he said.
Okay.
You got that? 10 seconds on the clock for Ian. On your mark, get set, go.
Emmanuel Sanders, Brock Osweiler, Akeem Talib, Vernon Davis, and Owen Daniels.
That is correct. You got all 5. Nicely done, Ian. All right, Erik, there's nobody else relevant left on the team. Are you ready for your 10 seconds?
Sure.
I'll do it. I'm going to just be nice guy. If you can tell me who the kicker is in this batch of players, I'll give you 2 points if you get the kicker. Are you ready?
Wait, they already said the kicker?
No. Kicker hasn't been said yet. Hasn't been said yet.
Goodness.
If you happen to know who the
was he
kicker
the
is.
former San Diego Chargers kicker? I don't know.
All right, 10 seconds on the clock, Erik, and begin.
Axel Foley.
No.
D. Schneider.
No. And time's up. All right, nicely done. Big fat goose egg for Erik.
I love how I got your dad laughing on that one.
Producer Kurt loves it. All right, round number 2 starting with Ian. You will be naming 5 Super Bowl winners. There is a total of 22 of them. Obviously, you will not have to worry about getting that high. We have the official list in front of us of Super Bowl winners, so we will know if you say a wrong team or not. So we'll let you know. All right, Ian, we'll start with you. 10 seconds on the clock, and begin.
The Packers, the Broncos, the Patriots, the Seahawks, and the Raiders.
Nicely done. He got all 5. Well done, Ian. Well done. So he got the Packers, the Raiders, the Patriots, the Broncos, and the Seahawks were his 5. This Game Master Scheibe scrambles to get his ducks in a row. Well done. All right, Erik, you are next, sir. Are you ready?
Can you repeat the question again? I was thinking
Super Bowl winners.
Okay, any Super Bowl winner. I was thinking it had to be within
since
10,
Super Bowl Uno
10-year radius.
occurred.
All right.
Are you ready? Begin.
The Cowboys, the 49ers, the St. Louis Rams, the New York Jets, the
time is up. He got 4. He did get 4. All right, Mitch, the door is still open for you, sir. Nicely done, Erik. You got 4. Better than your goose egg in round 1.
It's a lot of names to remember.
It is. Well, 9 of the 22 have been said.
Yeah.
There's a lot of repeat winners out there, too. So. Just saying. All right, 10 seconds, and begin.
We have the Oakland Raiders.
Ben said.
Oh, okay. Well, Pittsburgh Steelers.
Good.
New Orleans Saints.
Correct.
Indianapolis Colts.
Correct. Time is up. He got 3. All right. Okay. Nicely done, gentlemen. Some of your other choices could have been, but are not limited to, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Baltimore Colts, the Miami Dolphins, Washington Redskins, Los Angeles Rams, the Bears, the Giants, Baltimore Ravens, and Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh, my goodness.
So, who knew? Anyway. All right, we move on to round number 3, starting with Erik. Are you ready, sir? You will be naming 5 current Carolina Panther players. On your mark, get set, go.
Cam Newton, Jonathan Stewart, Smith, the wide receiver, Owen
You
Daniels.
got 2. Owen Daniels. Pulling him from other time. Aaron Rodgers. Yes. Yes. All right, Mitch, back to you. He only got 2.
Okay.
All right. On your mark, get set, go.
We've got Thomas Davis. We have Josh Norman. We have Ted Ginn Jr. What's his name? Michael.
Time is up. Time is up. Game Master Scheibe, did he get that off in time?
I don't think so, no.
Okay, we'll give him 3 on that one. So, Ian, if he wants, it's got a player in his corral there. All right, Ian, 10 seconds. On your mark, get set, go.
Mike Tolbert, Fozzie Whitaker, Devin Funchess, Greg Olson, Corey Brown.
Boom, he got 5. Wow, nicely done, Ian.
How many Panthers did you have in your fantasy team this year?
Seriously.
1.
He didn't even touch Mike Orr either.
impressive.
You mentioned it. All right, Game Master Scheibe, as we go into the final round, what are the scores?
Erik has 9 points.
9 points.
Excuse me.
You have 9 points.
Mitch has 12 points, and Ian has 17.
Oh,
wow, dude.
All right. Well, Erik, we'll start with you, just because we love you, and because you're in last, and you can't win, unfortunately. But you can play spoiler for the rest, so keep that in mind. We'll be naming 5 NFL head coaches, current NFL head coaches. On your mark, get set, go.
Lovie Smith. Tom Brady.
What?
Time is up.
Axl Rose.
Yes, Axl Rose.
Tom
All
Brady
right.
and Axl Rose.
So
my
Erik
three favorite
gets
NFL coaches.
1. So you guys have 31 left.
Oh, my goodness.
If you can't come up with something on those 31, I'll be worried. Mitch, you got to get all 5 to tie Ian.
Yeah.
And if you don't, well, we'll still let Ian go, and we'll see how far he gets. All right, Mitch, 10 seconds on the clock. Begin.
Bill Belichick, Mike McCarthy. What? Ron Rivera.
Yep.
And I'm blanking.
He got 3.
And a
All
blank.
right, he got 3. So, Ian, you have already won, but we want to see how many you know as well. So, 10 seconds on the
run it off,
clock,
it's fine.
just to pad your stats, Ian. Here we go. On your mark, get set, go.
Gary Kubiak, Mike Tomlin, Jim Caldwell, Pat Shermer, and Mike McCoy.
Yep, he got all 5. Nicely done. Holy cow, Ian.
You know what's sad is that he named the San Diego Chargers.
I was
head
wondering,
coach.
I'm like,
Oh.
Eric, tell me you know the,
I was like,
Chargers coach.
North Turner.
He's still a thing, right?
He's
Yeah, right?
somewhere, maybe. Probably.
Game Master Scheibe. Who is our winner this week?
Ian had a perfect game of Name
Wow.
5 with
Wow.
20 points. He wins for
machine.
22. Congratulations,
Silent
Nicely
Ian.
done, Ian. Congratulations.
Thank you. WLC prevails on this one.
Ooh,
Like I
COW
said,
will rise one day.
The team of mediocrity shall ever be mediocre.
Oh, the Falcons. Falcon Pride. All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody. What's the Score has been a production of the Sports Quotient and Sports Radio America. Thanks to our contestants and studio audience here at the BLC studios. Our panelists this week have been Mitch Vomhof, Erik Condia, and Ian Demarse. Our social media producers are Emily Heffler and Erica Hill. Our theme was composed by Danny Hoffenstein. Our media producer is Erik Condia, a.k.a. our panelist this week. Our sound engineer is Kurt Colburn. Our executive producer is Corey Plath. And the executive director is my beautiful wife, Liz Colburn.
I've been your Game Master, Josh Scheibe.
And I've been your host, Baxter Colburn. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you all again next time on What's the Score? Hey everybody, welcome to our post-game interviews. I'm your host, Baxter Colburn.
And I'm your Game Master, Josh Scheibe.
We are here with our 3 esteemed panelists, Mitch Vomhof, Ian Demarse, and Erik Condia. Gentlemen, not a bad showing this week. Erik, you came in last place. Looks like you might be returning to your media producer roles sooner rather than we thought. How do you rate your performance this week?
You know what? I was extremely excited when I only had to answer one question at a time, but then you throw a Gatling gun at me, and I apparently can't catch it.
Apparently not, but it's a rebuilding year. I understand.
Yeah, and I think I can just take pride in knowing that I've been helping others clothe themselves through our sports taboo
That
winnings.
is very noble of you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. We appreciate your service and dedication to What's the Score. Mitch,
Hey.
second place this week. Second place.
Continuing my defense.
You are.
Second
You are
place,
a solid silver medal
entries.
winner.
Yeah. I was a bridesmaid.
At
never
least
a
you're
bride.
consistent.
Exactly. Consistency is the key, kind of like the Supersonics. You have won.
Ah,
But
I'm sad.
Mitch, name 5. You got a little shoddy there at the end.
Yeah, things kinda went off the
What threw
rails.
you this week?
I just started thinking about. Well, yeah, Kurt waving at me the whole time.
That'll do it, yeah.
I just thought about too many things at once and then forgot what I was thinking about.
That happens
And
to
it
me
just,
every day.
It just, yep, all kind of fell apart. That's okay.
Happens. All right, Ian.
It's
you,
better. There were better categories this time.
True.
Than,
Was it
professional
tennis stars?
players?
Yeah, professional tennis players was one of the ones you were here last time.
Last
for.
time, and it all just went off the. It all
It
fell apart.
happens. Happens to the best
The
of us.
look of terror in the panelists' eyes.
Yeah.
That's what I
that week
live
was
for. I live
hilarious.
for that.
Andre Agassi.
Yes.
That was. I think that was my one.
It was,
But-
yes. Ian, well done, sir. First time on the panel, and you won with a perfect score. Nicely done. How do you feel about that?
Feels awesome to get the victory my first time out. A little nervous at first, but once the show got going, I was able to dominate, prevail.
So you did. Do you have any final words for your Concordia, Wisconsin foe sitting next to you?
Better luck next time.
Ooh. The
Dunk
Lutheran Bowl
competition.
next time. Bum, bum, bum. I love it. The impending rivalry. Well, gentlemen, we'll come back to you in just a moment. We have one quick question for all of our studio audience members as well. We'll start with you, Jared. Jared, you didn't win your sports taboo game, unfortunately, but
Not
it's
bad.
okay. It happens. But
a little saddened by it, but
it happens. So we're curious, though. We want to know your Super Bowl prediction tonight. Panthers, Broncos, in the great city of San Francisco, where you should never drop your wallet. Who do you think's going to win tonight?
I believe that the Carolina Panthers are going to win.
Carolina Panthers, do you have a score line for us?
I have a score line of 31-10.
31-10. Okay, fair enough. Well, thank you. Let's pass the mic down. Michelle, our champion this week. How do you feel about your victory?
I'm picking Carolina.
Okay.
28-20.
28-20. Ooh, all right. That 2-point conversion laid on in the game. Watch for that. And Nate, sir, who is your victor this evening?
Carolina's going to win 35-17.
35-17. Woo! How many interceptions is Peyton Manning going to throw?
2.
Ooh, all right. Somebody strike that for the record. Well, thank you very much. Now, panel, before we let you go, Game Master Scheibe and I always have a question for each of you. My question for you this week is, if you were at a bakery and you could pick just one bakery item, what is your go-to bakery item? We'll start with you, Erik.
I would probably say... All right. I can't think of the name. It's an Eau Claire, right?
An Eau Claire.
With
not the city.
An Eau Claire?
No,
you don't want to go
Eclair.
You don't want Eau Claire. That's
nobody
no.
wants Eau Claire.
You don't want to eat.
No,
you're not eating that.
Yes, it is a
Eclair?
chocolate eclair.
Eclair?
Yeah, with
An eclair. The filling.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Yes, an
I'd
eclair.
probably go for
Okay.
that.
Ian,
Well.
what's your go-to bakery item?
I'd go with a blueberry scone.
Blueberry scone. And Mitchie V.
I'd go for one of those really big cinnamon rolls.
Ooh, quality. I've got one in the fridge right now. And Game Master Scheibe, your question, sir.
Well, we all know that tonight is a game of stars, so I have a question for you guys. Star Wars or Star Trek? Mitch, we'll start with you.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
You know what? I'd probably go with Star Wars.
Nicely done. All right, and quickly, your Super Bowl predictions, Erik.
I'm going to pull for the underdog, and go with the Denver Broncos because I'm an AFC West fan.
And your scoreline, sir?
I would probably say Peyton Manning 18. And
that is his number.
Yeah, I know. I want to go off the number. And Cam Newton 2.
Okay,
Boy,
I
that'd
like
be
it.
an upset.
I like it, Ian.
I think Peyton Manning goes out on top, and Broncos win 23-20.
Ooh, okay. Game-winning field goal from Brandon McManus is who I was looking for.
All right. Oh, Brandon McManus.
Yeah, that's the
totally
kicker for the
could have
Broncos.
That is a very good last name.
Yeah, that's a great name.
McManus with the
Exactly.
field goal
All
from
right.
60 yards.
Woo! He did kick a 70-yarder in preseason. Fun fact.
That's right.
Mitch.
And I'm taking the Panthers by a score of 27-24.
All right, Game Master Scheibe, your prediction.
Ooh, as much as I would like to see Peyton go out with a ring to end it, if he does end it, 31-17 Panthers.
Ooh, 31-17, and I'm going to take the Denver Broncos 27-24.
Oh.
So we will see what happens with that. Thank you so much for listening to What's the Score. We will see you all again next week. Have a great Super Bowl Sunday.